Check this out, parents. I'm going to need you guys to really take a seat.
Go.
Whoa, before we start off on the wrong foot, I knew I needed to rope you in with a bold statement. That is how this YouTube thing works, right? Either way, what I am here to do is explain adolescent to teenage behavior using the acronym S.E.A.T, sensory, escape, attention, and tangible. And I'll be breaking down each one so you recognize it when you see it, and you'll be able to address it appropriately, and it'll alleviate any conflict that might arise out of a misunderstanding. Right? Let's go. Before we go any further, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you can stay on top of what I'm doing. Listen, how many times have we had an exchange with our child where we have no idea why we just misunderstood each other? You felt you spoke clearly. They felt they spoke clearly. You felt you heard it correctly. But going in the other direction, there's a face, there's a tone, there's a shift in posture. All of it screams miscommunication. I don't want to be here anymore. And that's where we fumble the ball. But sometimes that's not our fault. We just don't know what we're seeing. So in my 2 decades of working with youth, I had to learn really quickly what each behavior looked like. Let's take S, that's sensory. To be honest with you, a lot of times that's just them needing a hug based on the physical expression level. That always needs to be considered. But in saying that, embraces feel safest. Listen, even in the midst of them spreading their wings, they always love to know that there's a nest to come back to and some sort of embrace or expression of love that makes them feel reminiscent of the times when life wasn't so complicated for them. And for a lot of them, that's childhood. You'll hear it in their discussions. They'll slip into things that they miss about childhood, whether it be Mrs. Spider's Sunny Patch, Jack's Big Music Show, Backyardigans. I mean, come on now, all the classics. Sometimes all it takes is that deep inhale and that cleansing exhale that comes along with an embrace from your parents. So this one's kind of a hard one. Not that any of it is easy. This parenting thing, like who made this up? E is escape. They need space. Give it to them. But also ask, when's the best time to be able to re-engage? If left up to either side, we'd eagerly allow that to be swept up under the rug to go away. But it's easier to take care of a small problem now than a big problem later. Reason being, if you wait, you allow for the root of assumption to take place. And that interferes in the quality of the communication between you and your child about that topic. But not only that topic, but communication in general. Because things like that, if allowed to stay, will become a communication norm. Then nobody knows anything about anyone. Then miscommunications will abound from there. It's so much easier to understand what one another is saying in the moment that it's happening, as close to the conflict point as possible, without still harboring the angry feelings of the conflict. That makes sense? So A is attention. Here's the tricky thing about attention. They want to be seen, but they don't want to be watched. And a lot of the time, us parents don't know the difference. There's a difference between saying, hey, congratulations on your recent success, and so now that you have this success, when are you going to start X, Y, Z? Setting expectations on anyone, let alone a child, solely based on what you would do, sounds to them like they're being watched and they better make the right move or else. That breeds people pleasing. But being recognized sets the stage for their progress to be seen without the need of our critique or assistance. We have to make room for that independence based on that child's skill set and level of critical thinking, obviously. T is the humbling, bitter pill of parenting. T is for tangible. They want something. We are a resource to them, whether it be shelter or money. Most times it's money. Who are we kidding? But in being that, it's our responsibility to make sure we're a consistent resource to them for whatever that need may be. Because a lot of times we need to be an emotional resource as well, but we believe in our minds that we're only a financial resource, and we miss out on the part where they fell in love with our heart, not our wallet. But in us being a resource, they need to understand that they're responsible for their income when they're of age. This doesn't diminish our responsibility towards them, but it does teach them to manage the responsibilities that they've gained better and on their own. Listen, I'll say this every day and twice on Sunday. None of this is easy. I simply want to be a resource and make the communication easier just because I find that I have really great communication with younger people. I'm just passing on my experience, and I hope other people apply it so that their relationships can grow with their young people, because essentially we're going to need them before they need us. And that's just the facts of it. So why not build beneficial bridges of communication so that makes that transition easier? For more content like this, be sure to like, subscribe, notification bell so you know what I'm doing. The Real Wayne Stephen. Yes, sir.